All right, welcome to this explainer. Let's just jump right in today because, wow, we have an absolute gem of a game to break down. We're looking at the anatomy of a WNBA thriller, that exhilarating July 13, 2026 matchup between the Minnesota Lynx and the Phoenix Mercury. I mean, this 104-100 shootout literally had everything you would possibly want as a basketball fan.
Let's set the stage with this massive number right here, 23. That represents the unbelievable amount of lead changes we saw in this high-octane matchup. Throw in 13 ties, and you get a picture of a game that was basically a 40-minute tug-of-war. Neither team was willing to give an inch. It created this constant psychological whiplash where, every time one squad looked like they were finally pulling away, the other just answered right back.
So looking at the tail of the tape here, offense versus offense. What stands out is just how historically efficient both teams were, but they got there in totally different ways. Both squads shot a scorching 55% from the field. Phoenix was just punishing Minnesota inside, right? They put up 36 points in the paint. But the Lynx, they countered with pure speed and discipline. They capitalized on fast breaks, scoring 16 points in transition compared to Phoenix's 6. And, this is huge, Minnesota was nearly perfect from the charity stripe, sinking 24 of their 26 free throws. When a game is decided by just 4 points after 23 lead changes, that execution in the margins is absolutely everything.
Okay, let's shift our focus to the individuals who defined this battle, starting with our next section, McBuckets, the veteran warrior.
And by warrior, I mean Minnesota's Kayla McBride dropping a season-high 37 points. Just to put that into perspective for a second, she finished just one single point shy of a career high that she set all the way back in 2018. Talk about turning back the clock. It was an absolute offensive masterclass from a veteran who knew exactly when her team needed her to put the entire offense on her back.
And you can really see that and how the clutch final 45 seconds actually played out. Picture this. The Lynx are trailing by 2. The clock ticks down to 45.1 seconds. McBride steps up, ice in her veins, and buries her 6th three-pointer of the night to give Minnesota a 101-98 lead. That shot permanently shifted the momentum. Then, flash forward to 21.1 seconds left. Olivia Miles drives the lane and finds Natasha Howard for this incredibly high-pressure, crucial layup. To cap it all off at 0.0 seconds, Courtney Williams grabs a game-defining steal, allowing Miles to seal the 4-point win at the free throw line. Just pure, undeniable execution under immense pressure.
But hey, the veteran didn't do it alone. Let's move into our next section. Magic Miles makes history. Looking at Olivia Miles' stat line, the rookie sensation put on an absolute clinic of her own. She paired a career-high 33 points with 8 assists, acting as the ultimate counterpunch to a super gritty Mercury defense. I mean, to see a rookie step into a high-stakes, back-and-forth thriller and not only score 33, but then secure the game with clutch playmaking in those final 30 seconds, that shows a level of maturity that is incredibly rare. And this performance didn't just win the game, it literally rewrote the record books. Welcome to the 400-100-100 club. With this game, Miles became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 400 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists. And she accomplished this massive milestone in just 22 games. 22! We are, quite literally, watching basketball history being written right in front of us.
Now, every great basketball game features an unexpected X factor, right? Let's move on and talk about the unsung hero of this matchup, Eliska Hamzova.
Because as flawless as that final box score might look, this game had some really precarious moments for Minnesota. When Magic Miles fell into foul trouble during a critical stretch in the second half, you can almost feel the momentum starting to slip. The Lynx desperately needed an immediate spark from their bench to keep their offense alive and maintain their rhythm against a relentless Phoenix squad.
And as one fan perfectly summed it up on Reddit during the live reactions, the vibe was basically, me? Oh no. Liv is in foul trouble? Eliska Hamzova, hold my beer. I love that. It's a hilarious way to phrase it, but honestly, it perfectly captures the sudden, stabilizing impact she had the second her team's primary ball handler was forced to sit. Hamzova played 9 massive, crucial bench minutes of fearless, high-speed basketball. She provided this incredible acceleration that completely stabilized the Lynx's offense when they needed it most. In a game with 23 lead changes, those 9 minutes off the bench, that was the silent margin of victory right there. Absolutely vital to bridging the gap and keeping the Mercury from pulling away.
All right, let's wrap things up by looking at the fan verdict.
Because the energy online was just as electric as the game itself. Fans were incredibly hyped about the bench energy, specifically calling out Hamzova's infectious momentum and fearless drives to the basket. One fan simply wrote, "Fear the fro, bubby," celebrating that immediate spark she provided.
The community also really zeroed in on McBride's ultimate warrior mentality. One fan quoted an older statement from McBride saying, "Losing was never an option. Winning was the only result possible." It just proves that when the game is on the line, she absolutely backs up her competitive talk on the court.
But before we sign off, it is so important to remember this was a true clash of titans. The Lynx didn't just win in a vacuum. They survived a phenomenal effort from Phoenix. Kayla Copper put up a massive 26 points, and Alyssa Thomas was an absolute machine for the Mercury, nearly notching a triple-double with 19 points, 12 assists, and 8 rebounds. It was exactly this fierce pushback from Phoenix's stars that forced McBride and Miles to elevate their own games to historic heights, making this an unforgettable night for basketball fans everywhere.
So, with record-breaking rookie performances, unbelievable veteran dominance, 23 thrilling lead changes, and 2 teams operating at absolute peak offensive efficiency, we really have to ask, is this the defining game of the 2026 WNBA season? It for sure set a benchmark that is going to be incredibly hard to top. Think on that. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you next time.